Come with me as we take on every Soulsborne, Souls-like, and Souls-kinda-like game that there is. In this series, we're going to take on every single boss in each of the games. What's up everyone, welcome back to the channel. I hope you had a fantastic holiday break and I hope you had a great new year. I am very excited to be back and get back into the swing of things, and so today we are playing one of my favorite games of all time, Hollow Knight. We start off the game by jumping off a cliff and falling all the way down to the bottom, and like the great Indie Mouse always says, you always start by going left in a Metroidvania. So we make our way to Dirtmouth, which is going to be our little hub of the area, and we meet the Elder Bug, who's just a happy, chill guy. Then we sit at a bench, which is going to be our bonfire of the game. After that, we jump down into the well into our first area of the game, the Forgotten Crossroads. Where we are going to find Cornifer for the first time. He sells us a map for each zone that we end up in. Then we're going to head to the Temple of the Black Egg, and we're going to meet Quarrel, who we're going to find several times throughout the game, and he's going to actually help us at some point. And then we're going to rescue our first grub.
Bapanada.
Bapanada indeed. After we try and steal Cornifer's wife, we're going to go back into the Forgotten Crossroads and run into our first boss, the False Knight. And we actually no-hit him. We're then going to go meet a snail shaman and get our first spell of the game. Then we're going to head back into the Forgotten Crossroads and we're going to face the next boss on our list, the Gruz Mother, or Gruz Mother, not sure.
Brother, what's that?
Then we're going to go rescue our friend Sly. And then we're going to head left and go to the next zone, Green Path. Then we're going to face the next technical boss. I mean, the Vengefly King is in the Pantheon, so I guess it counts as a boss, and so I'm going to count it here. Then after a lot of traversing in Green Path, we're going to run into Hornet, and this is going to be our next boss fight.
Bye, have a great time.
Don't worry, we will see her again. After we get our dash ability, we can finally get up and go talk to Salubra, who is going to be our main charm vendor of the game. Then we're going to head back into Green Path, and we're going to face the massive Moss Charger.
Bruh.
My first death of the game was to the massive Moss Charger. Obviously, we went back and took him out. After that, we head over to the Fungal Waste, which is going to be our next zone of the game. And we're going to get locked in this room with these big mushroom guys, who are some of my favorite enemies, just because watch what he does. I love this. This is me every day at work, just slamming my head into the desk. Then we're going to head down into the Mantis Village, and we're going to get our wall jump ability. And we're going to save all woe is me Bretta. And at the bottom of the Mantis Village, we are going to fight the Mantis Lords, one of my favorite bosses of the game. And just listen to this soundtrack. And just like that, we are 6 bosses in. Then we head to the City of Tears and we meet Coral again. And the next stop is to visit the Nailsmith to upgrade our weapon. Then close to the center of the city, we meet Hornet again, who gives us more of the story of the game. And then we head to the Soul Sanctum, which has one of my favorite soundtracks of the entire game. And here's another one that's kind of like the Vengefly King. It counts in the Pantheon as a boss, so I'm counting it here as a boss. This is the Soul Warrior. Then at the end of Soul Sanctum, we're going to fight the Soul Master.
Surprise, motherfucker!
He actually stays down this time. After we get the Desolate Dive spell, we can finally enter Crystal Peaks, where we're going to face our next boss, who's blocking our bench, the Crystal Guardian. I am hilariously bad at this very simple fight. Then, after making our way through Crystal Peak, we're going to get the Crystal Heart ability, which is essentially just a really long dash. And then we're immediately going to go get our upgrade to the Desolate Dive, the Descending Dark spell. Then we're going to head to the Royal Waterways, where we're going to face our next boss, the Dung Defender. Descending Dark is really overpowered. After defeating Dung Defender, we're going to get down into Isma's Grove to get Isma's Tear, which means we can swim in the acid water now. Then we head to the Ancient Basin, where we are going to end up fighting our next boss, the Broken Vessel. Again, Descending Dark is very overpowered. After Broken Vessel, we're going to get the Monarch Wings, which are going to be essentially our double jump.
Round 2.
With the double jump, we can go fight the Enraged Guardian, which is literally the same boss we fought, but he's just mad now and does double damage. Woo! And again, I am hilariously bad at this fight. D-Dark for the win. Then we're going to head back to Soul Sanctum and get our upgrade to our very first spell that we got. Then we had to head to Queen's Gardens to get our next spell, which is the Howling Wraiths. And then we made our way to Kingdom's Edge, where our metal is going to get tested again, and we have to fight Hornet for the second time.
Round 2. Oh.
No more shawing me, please. After that fight, we go down further and get the King's Brand, which allows us to go into the Abyss zone of the game. And at the bottom of the Abyss, we get to upgrade our Howling Wraith's ability into the Abyss Shriek. And we also get to upgrade our dash ability here. So with all that done, it's time to actually progress the story of the game and go meet the Dreamers and get our Dream Nail. And then it's time to head to Deep Nest, where we meet one of my least favorite bosses of the game, Nosk.
Can I pet that dog?
No.
Can I pet that dog?
No, he's
Can I
sleeping.
pet that dog?
And yes, I did kind of use the cheat code for this fight, just standing in the safe spots at the end of the ledge. It took forever, but I am very bad at this fight and just really didn't feel like dealing with it. So now we're in the Beast Den, which is where we need to be to get our first Dreamer. So we have to go into the dream world and beat up the dreamer. This one is Hera, and then absorb their dream essence to make our dream nail stronger. There's a lot of dreams in there. Also, absorbing each dreamer takes a mask off the Temple of the Black Egg, where we're going to go fight the final boss. But before we do that, we have a lot of bosses to clean up first. This is the Brooding Moloch. And you can just D-dart to victory with him. Then it's time to go get our second Dreamer, but first we have to fight the Watcher Knights. It is a boss fight of 6 different knights, unless you knock down that chandelier, in which case you only have to fight 5 of them. And obviously I am not going to make this harder on myself. So then we're going to beat up Lurien and we're going to take their essence, which is going to take one more mask off the Temple of the Black Egg. Then we made our way over to the Queen's Gardens, where we're going to fight our next boss, which is the Traitor Lord, and I died several times to, again, this really easy boss.
Fuck you!
But after several attempts, we finally got him. Then we meet the White Lady, who's going to give us half of a charm that we need to get an alternative ending to the game. So then we head to the Teacher's Archives to get our last Dreamer, but first we have to fight the next boss, Umu. Who you can't do anything to until our old buddy Quarrel comes into the fight. Whiff that one. Not a fun fight. But Quarrel is sick. So then we're going to beat up Monomon and absorb her essence, which is then going to open the way to the last boss of the game. But we still obviously have more bosses to take care of, namely this asshole. Then there are a few bosses in the trials that we have to take care of. This one is the Oblobble boss fight. I was tweaking here. I have 1 health. This is at the very end of a gauntlet, and I am super bad at gauntlets. But thankfully we got him. And now enjoy this montage of all the Dreamer fights. So now, after all the Dream Warrior fights, we get to go fight the Dream versions of the bosses that we've already beaten so far. This one is the Failed Champion. And as you can tell from right there, he does double damage every hit. But he's got a little cheat code with him in that you can dream nail his armor and get soul, so you can heal yourself, and every time you hit him it kind of just extends this period of the fight. So yes, I did kind of cheat this boss because he is tough on his own. And then we went to go face the dream version of the broken vessel. This one is the Lost Kin. And then it was the dream version of the Soul Master, the Soul Tyrant. And then I went to go do the last stream version of the boss, but I forgot about Fluke Marm, so we came over here and did this one real quick. Then it was time to go face the dream version of the Dung Defender, the White Defender. And again, this is another pretty easy boss that I am just terrible at.
Bruh.
Thank you, Dark Souls.
But after a few attempts, we finally took him down. So then we go back to the Seer and we upgrade our Dream Nail all the way. With a fully upgraded Dream Nail, we head down to the Hive and we're going to face the only boss here, the Hollowknight. Not too bad. And then it was time to do the Grim Troop part of the game. This is one of my favorite fights, one of my favorite songs of the game, and really one of my favorite characters too. Grim is just awesome. So we took him down on the first try, but don't worry, there's another version of him that is significantly harder. After Grim, it was time to go do the last gauntlet, the Trial of the Fool, and get our last boss of this area, the God Tamer. I was very relieved when I got this done because that means I didn't have to do these gauntlets anymore. And then, unfortunately, it was time to go do the next fight, which is Grey Prince Zote. Now, I only fought him once in the only other playthrough of this game that I had ever done, and so I was really not prepared for this at all. It only took a few attempts and a lot of descending darks, but I completely understand why everyone on Reddit just really does not like this fight. So at this point in the game, I figured it was time to go get our first ending of the game. We're gonna get two, and so here we are inside the Temple of the Black Egg, releasing the Hollow Knight, and we're going to fight him as the last boss of this ending. I love that fight and the soundtrack to it. It's so heartbreaking if you know the story about the Hollow Knight and really just the entire lore of this game. But anyway, here we are at the end of the White Palace, getting the other half of that charm that the White Lady gave us so we can do the second ending of the game. But first we gotta take out Nightmare King Grim, and this is my favorite boss of the game. Alright, with NKG down, it's time to go get our second ending of the game, which we have to fight the Hollow Knight every time. Basically, Hornet comes in, opens up his shell, we dream nail it, and then we're gonna go face the true final boss of the game, the Radiance. Which, yeah, we're gonna fight the frickin' sun.
Oh, come on!
After a few attempts, we finally take it down and we get this really cool ending. Just smack the Sonic coins out of her. So now that we got both endings that we had to get, we're going to go into the God Home DLC and get the final 4 bosses that we can't fight outside of this. This first one is going to be the 2 brothers, Oro and Mato. Now, if you notice, I'm going to finish every single one of these fights with 1 hit left. Then we're going to go face the other brother, I think, Paintmaster Shio. One health left. Then we gotta go face the Great Nail Sage Slime. This fight sucks. It doesn't actually suck, I just suck at doing it. And then it's time to go face the Pure Vessel, one of the hardest bosses in the game. I had 1 health left again on this one. All 4 of them, they got me down to 1 health. And then I didn't count this boss towards the final count just because it's the Mantis Lords again, except you fight all 3 of them this time instead of the 2 at a time, but it's a fun fight. I left it in here just because I think it's cool. And that is going to do it for Hollow Knight. Now some of you might be thinking, yo, Giga, you did not go fight the Absolute Radiance. And you would be correct, because I am not going to go waste my time doing Pantheon 5 and fighting like 47 bosses in a row just to go fight another version of the Radiance. Now I might try and do P5 one day, but just not really anytime soon. I only did enough of it just to get the Sisters of Battle unlocked, but I don't know, not right now. But like I said earlier, I am so excited to be back here playing games and editing videos. My wife and I moved several states just before Christmas not too long ago, and so we've been kind of in a frenzy here trying to get everything set up and get our lives back to normal again. So again, as always, if you've made it this far in the video, and this one's quite a long one, I appreciate you, I appreciate your time. Thanks for being here, thanks for hanging out, and we will see you next time. Peace!